Welcome to our channel. We are sincerely trying to choose interesting stories, so we would really like to see your subscription.
I'm James, a 53-year-old man living with my loyal companion Terry, a 1-year-old German Shepherd. Terry became part of my life after my divorce from Emma, who was 45 at the time. Despite the divorce, I'm enjoying my retirement and am in a comfortable financial situation. Reflecting on my life, I recall a story my uncle shared during a family BBQ when I was a 16-year-old growing up in Alabama. Waking up in the hospital after back surgery was a profound shock. I had been married for 28 years, and to my surprise, my wife left me for another man while I was in the hospital. The revelation blindsided me because I had no idea she was already involved with someone else. What made it more challenging to cope with was the lack of awareness of the groundwork she had laid. She had sold our house, and I went from enjoying a comfortable life with homes on a golf course and at the beach and Gulf Shores to having no home at all. I lost everything I had worked hard for throughout my life. Now, at 68, I wish I had made better plans for the future. I learned the hard way that saving money is crucial because one day money may save you. My hope is that you can learn from my mistake, taking steps to secure your future, being prepared, and having a safety net in place to avoid ending up in a situation like mine. This lesson has stayed with me for life and would have a profound impact on my future. After completing my education, I joined my father's consulting company. By the age of 28, I became the company's leader. During a conference in New York, I met Emma, a beautiful and intelligent woman working as an accountant in a different firm. We started dating, and eventually she joined our company as a new accountant. After 3 years of dating, Emma took the initiative and proposed to me. I agreed, and as part of the wedding preparations, I asked her to sign a prenuptial agreement. Emma was surprised and upset, feeling it indicated a lack of trust. I reassured her that my intention was not to doubt our relationship, but to ensure a secure future for both of us. I explained that the prenuptial agreement was designed to safeguard the assets I had acquired before our marriage. I conveyed that anything I had built prior to marrying her would remain exclusively mine, and I could pass it on according to my future plans. I made it explicit that any assets obtained after our marriage would be shared between us. Emphasizing our role as a team, I clarified that, as husband and wife, everything created together would be shared as a team effort. So, our prenup stipulated that all assets I possessed before the marriage would remain under my ownership, with any future income from them belonging to me. Any personal earnings I made during our marriage would be shared with my wife in the event of a divorce. In the case of a mutual separation, our assets would be divided equally. If infidelity occurred, the distribution would be 90-10 with no alimony. Emma did not speak to me for a week, avoiding communication at the office and even for work-related matters. However, after 8 days, while I was working late in my office at 10 p.m., Emma entered and noted that I was the only one left to go home. I expressed my dedication to work, and she surprised me by walking up, kissing me passionately, and declaring her love, willing to sign any paper I presented. The charged atmosphere led to intense emotions, and that night in my office turned into an amazing experience. We got married a month later and enjoyed a honeymoon in Paris. Our European adventure included skiing in the Swiss Alps, and the honeymoon was truly awesome. Years later, we have 3 accomplished kids who have moved out for their studies in different states, all excelling academically by God's grace. With an empty house, Emma and I spend our days at the office and evenings driving home together, enjoying dinner, wine, and ending the day in each other's arms. As our youngest kid left home, Emma became quieter, no longer desiring lengthy conversations, and our weekly movie nights came to an end. I expressed my concerns and suggested going to therapy to get help before the situation worsened. However, Emma declined, insisting it was just a phase and would pass. She requested some time to deal with it on her own. Emma also expressed a desire to stop going to the office. In agreement, I began going to the office alone. There were days when I returned home early to find her either sleeping or cooking in the kitchen. Worried about her well-being, I suggested she start working out at a local gym and pursue some hobbies. Understanding my concerns, Emma agreed to go to the gym. After a few weeks, I noticed a positive change in her appearance. She dressed nicely, brought lunch to the office, and after a long time asked me to stay back late for work. We became intimate in the office, and I believed that everything had been resolved. Emma's attire became more revealing and her lingerie choices improved. While part of me enjoyed the newfound intimacy, another part remained cautious, questioning the reasons behind these changes. One evening I returned home to find Emma in the kitchen, wrapped in a sheet with a wine glass in hand. She approached me with nothing on but the wine glass. We engaged in an intimate encounter in the kitchen, and she filmed the act on her iPhone. Although I found it strange, I dismissed it as one of her new interests, attributing it to a harmless fetish. Things took a turn when Emma dropped a bombshell a few days later. During a Friday evening at home, she casually brought up the concept of an open marriage, asking if I had ever considered it. Stunned, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt disoriented, unsure if it was the wine or her words affecting me. After a moment, I firmly asserted that I am a man and would not entertain the idea of sharing my wife. She argued that nobody is asking me to share her. She just desires to explore the world, experience diverse feelings, and suggested we try an open lifestyle before it's too late. I was furious and left the room. For the following days, I avoided any communication with her. One late night at my office, she walked in, undressed, and initiated an intimate encounter. I succumbed to temptation, and Emma recorded the act. The next day, she brought up the open marriage idea again. I requested a week to consider it and asked her not to discuss it during that time. Feeling uneasy, I called my childhood friend, lawyer Dusty, who thought my wife was manipulating me and likely cheating. Dusty explained that an open marriage could benefit my wife financially, especially given the prenup in place. To gather evidence, we decided to hire a private investigator. Dusty instructed me to spend a day with Emma while he installed cameras at our home, bugged Emma's car, and put her under surveillance. I discreetly installed spyware on Emma's phone during our outing. Dusty informed me that the job was done and we awaited the investigator's findings. 5 days after Emma's proposal, Dusty called me for a meeting. In his office, the private investigator presented evidence of Emma's involvement with her gym coach, Rod, a former bodybuilder known for relationships with wealthy women. Emma had been showering him with gifts. The investigator obtained explicit texts and videos from Emma's phone, starting with innocent flirting and escalating to intimate moments with me. I was shocked by the revelation. The videos were filmed with the sole intention of capturing her actions, not mine. The proof was compelling. I glanced at Dusty, who handed me an envelope, confirming that it was already taken care of. However, he advised me to confront Emma at home without revealing the evidence, observing her reaction. Upon returning home, I found Emma with a wine glass covered only by a sheet. It was a moment demanding self-control and resistance to temptations. She approached me, and I walked to the drawing room, sitting on the couch. As she advanced, I gestured for her to sit on the opposite couch. I straightforwardly asked if she was cheating on me. Initially denying it, she provocatively inquired if she should cheat on me. Despite my anger, I remained composed, expressing knowledge of her infidelity and her attempt to use the open marriage pretext to bypass the prenup. Nonchalantly, she reclined, discarded the sheet, and admitted to cheating. Defiantly, she justified it, expressing her desire for freedom and rejecting the notion of being tied to me. Dismissing the prenup as a hindrance, she threatened legal repercussions and claimed ownership of half the assets. I rose slowly, extracted the envelope from my jacket, handed it to her, and informed her that I would take my chances in court. She had 2 hours to vacate my house. In response, she unleashed a torrent of insults, predicting a loveless future for me. As I left, I asserted my financial capability to date younger women with superior qualities. Upon returning after 3 hours, Emma was gone. I broke down, curled up in a corner, and wept. Despite my outward display of bravery in confronting Emma, I was shattered inside, uncertain if I could ever recover. Dusty joined me later, and we watched the video together. Amused, he likened it to the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith situation, claiming I made a better reaction than Will Smith. I understand he can be irritating, but he's my only friend, standing by me through all the ups and downs. I wish everyone had a companion like him. I called my kids explaining the divorce situation, and they were upset, but they needed to accept it as adults. In court, Emma, elegantly dressed, accused me of suggesting an open marriage and then backing out due to my inability to find someone. Dusty, my lawyer, presented evidence and revealed videos Emma shot on her phone. The judge dissolved our marriage based on Emma's infidelity, directing us to execute the prenup agreement. Emma threw a tantrum, accusing the judge and berating me for leaving her penniless. She claimed she just wanted to feel loved, broke down, and cried. The judge, unswayed, stated that Emma's actions showed malicious intent to exploit her husband. Emma was escorted out, and I never saw her again. My eldest son, visiting a day later, brought Terry, a dog I always wanted. Happy about it, I handed my business to him, and my other two kids planned to join him after graduation. Emma checked into rehab due to alcohol addiction. A year after the divorce, I've retired, moved to a beach city, and spend my time with Terry, who loves the sea and watches the sunset with me every evening.